We are doing great here. So, it's time to claim our freedom. Take a deep breath, and we'll repeat our treatment for freedom together aloud. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. And our points of power. I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my experience. I always keep my agreements. And so it is. Thank you, thank you. How many of you have experienced your life cleaning up through the points of power and the treatment for freedom? Yes, yes. Miracles are in the making here. They are in the making. I want to talk about the law of giving and receiving today. I worked a lot this week. We did an amazing amount of work on the kids' space, and it truly is beautiful. And all through this week, I have been riding the high of Mae McCarthy. I love her. I love her clarity. I love the way that she used these teachings to create her success. She wasn't a multimillionaire and then came into these teachings. She was the 10th kid in a family. Think about it. I don't think she came in with this real abundant prosperity consciousness, but she learned how to develop it through these ideas that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual law, that we create our reality, that if we focus on it, if we name it, we will claim it. If we focus on it and we do that with gratitude, we will experience that in our lives. And I love the way she said, tithing, I tithe as easily as I brush my teeth. 10% of Mae McCarthy is quite a bit. Quite a bit. I love the story that she told, that when she started going to the Seattle Center, they came and they said, "Who are you? You are instantly the largest giver we have ever had. Who are you?" And she said, "I'm just doing what you teach. I'm just doing what you teach. If you practice this, you will experience great riches in your life. You will experience great prosperity." And remember, true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. So we're not just talking about money, but I have found money to be a vital key in my happiness. I have been poor and I have been rich, and I like being rich better. I used these teachings when I was on welfare, when I was on food stamps, when I was giving plasma twice a week in order to make my meager budget work. I use these teachings to create a life that is amazing. I have an amazing life. Look at you. You are a reflection of me. You're fantastic. I have an amazing life. I get to do what I love to do, and evidently I do it pretty good, and people keep coming back, and they use this, and they have the courage to just sell everything they own and to go off into the wild blue yonder and to see what life brings to them because they have the trust and the faith to know that they will always be taken care of by Spirit, because they know how to set the law in motion. And how do we do that? We do it by giving. We give out into the world, and what we give out comes back to us. What we put out there always comes back. So if we're putting money out, we're going to get money back. If we put love out, we're going to get love back. If we put joy out, we're going to get joy back. Some people go, well, you people are just too happy. It just makes me crazy to be there. You're just so happy. Don't you know all the things that are wrong in the world? No. The world is great. The world is Spirit informed. The world is made out of love. There's only love. But if you put that out there, then you get that kind of a world back. You actually made it and jumped in it. But if you put out there that all is well, and if you want a little bit of a mental picture, let's go with Wallace Wattles, where he said, the world is perfect, though not complete. Okay, I can go there. But everything is inherently perfect. Everything is wonderful. Everything is Spirit informed. And if we put that out there, then that's what we get back. It was a big jump for me to figure out that I'm creating my experience. It looked so real. I grew up poor. I demonstrated poverty. I was an expert. You know how powerful I am. I was really good at demonstrating poverty. And so to have someone say that I'm doing this, no, it's doing me. I don't have enough, and that's the way that it is. And for me to make that jump that says I'm creating my experience was huge. It brought up all kinds of self-worth issues. Do I deserve to live a good life? I know what I've done. I know what my past was. Do I deserve to live a wonderful life? I had to really work on that and go, yes, I deserve to live a good life. I think that's one of the values of the point of power. I always ask for what I want when I want it. Well, let me just wait till somebody's not so busy. I'll just stand here. And I know that those other people are more important than me, so I'll let that person help them. Even though they came in after me, I'll just wait. I'll just wait my turn. Well, I found that my turn never comes when I go there. So when I look at myself and say, I always ask for what I want when I want it, that makes me value myself. And then I run the risk of not getting it. Wow. You know, if you don't ever want anything, you don't have to ever be disappointed. Then you can just be mediocre. Let's not. Let's run the risk of being great. Let's run the risk of being magnificent. Let's put out into the world this idea that says I live in an abundant universe, that I'm special. I'm living in the heart of God. Holy moly. I am creating my reality. I'm a powerful, creative, spiritual being alive and well on planet Earth. And I'm going to take responsibility for my experience. I'm going to put it out there. And what's the worst thing that can happen? What was a sticky note I had for a while? It said, my teachings are guaranteed. If you don't like them, you can have your old life back. My teachings are guaranteed. They are guaranteed to change your life if you're willing to change it. If you're willing to change what you put out into the world. And I know that there are some people who don't like that part of this teaching. I am a firm believer in tithing. 10% tithe. I learned how to tithe when I didn't have any money. I used to tithe food stamps when they came in a little pack, a little book, and you tore them out. I would tithe food stamps because that's all that I had. And what I realized is the more I gave out, the more I got back, because it's a law. It is a spiritual law that whatever you put out there, you're going to get back. And people come up to me and they go, well, I tithe 1%. 1% is not a tithe. It is not a tithe, because the reason you went from 10 to 1 is because you are afraid. And I tell people that, and they don't like it. Well, you have your beliefs and I have mine. I said, yes, and I have my money and you don't have any. So if you hold on to your fear, and if you use your head to rationalize and justify how you're going to hold on to it, because it basically comes from a belief that we live in a limited universe and there's not enough to go around, then that's what you create. I'm a firm believer in tithing. Anytime anybody comes up to me with a money issue, the first thing that I say is, are you tithing? Because that tells me about their whole mindset. If they're not, I know that they're creating fear in their life. If they are, I know that this is just a temporary bump in the road and something wonderful is about to happen. I was in class a couple of weeks ago. Somebody happened to mention that their money had just fallen apart. And true to my nature, I said, are you tithing? And they said, I stopped. And I said, are you out of your freaking mind? Are you crazy? That you would be doing something, your life is working, and then you stop doing what makes it work? Are you crazy? This is how I get in small classes. And so they started up again. It took 1 week to turn their finances around. They said money was just pouring in from everywhere. Out of the blue, money was showing up. Why is that? It's not that the tithing is magic, it's that the belief system and the intention that you set out into your world when you do that manifests in your life. You cannot be surrounded by cranky people and not be a cranky person. You cannot demonstrate lack of any kind in your life and not have that lack be inside of you. So what do? We automatically put out in our world what we are. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you put out there. No amount of justification or rationalization is going to stop spiritual law from demonstrating. You must put out, give away whatever it is you want. If you want a nicer partner in your relationship, look in the mirror. Be a nicer partner. If you want more joy in your life, look in the mirror. Put out joy. It's not going to kill you to be happy. It's not going to kill you to be kind. It's not going to kill you to be generous. One of my favorite barbarisms is, if you have an opportunity to be generous, take it. Do you know that studies show that generous people are happy people? Generous people are happy people. Now, there wasn't a corresponding study that say all happy people are generous. But all generous people are happy. Why? Because there's a sense that you have more than you need. You don't really need that. You live in a universe that loves and supports you, so you can let go of that. You can give it out into your world. If you create an opportunity to give, take that opportunity. You put yourself in that position. You set the stage for that. Give it out there. Be generous. If you hold on to whatever it is you might not be wanting to let go of, then you stop the flow. If you hold on, you stop the flow. Open up. Let it go. In our giving, we create that which we receive. If we could see it, it would be so much easier, because whatever we give out, we get back. It reminds me of breathing. Everybody take a deep breath. Don't let it go. Hold on to it. Well, that will only work for about a minute. And not only that, we're sitting here nice and relaxed. You're not asking a lot of yourself in your life. Consider running a marathon. How quickly are you going to let go of that breath? Why do you let go of it? So that you can get a new one. You breathe out so that you can breathe in. You let go so that you can receive more. We give to live, we live to give. We have to, or we will not be here. We'll fall over dead as soon as we start holding on to. We hold on to our digestive tract. That's not going to work. We hold on to our blood flow. That's not going to work. We hold on to our breath. That's not going to work. We have to let it go. We have to give it out there. So you are completely in charge of what you receive by what you give. Whatever you put out there is going to come back. We have people who have learned the art of tithing so well that their motto, and there's a group in the center, their motto is, do not let the sun set on a tithe. Don't let the sun set on a tithe. So off to PayPal they go, or in they come running, because they know that the faster they give it out, the faster it comes back. One of the things that May was talking to John and me about after the workshop was the state of our movement, and how it seems like some people who are ministers and teachers don't want to broach that money subject. That we want to keep it all love and joy, but no, don't talk about money. And she's so clear on talking about money. She's so clear about having the CSO, for those of you who weren't here, is the Chief Spiritual Officer. It's just another way to wrap your head around God or spirit. She's all about forgiving every night before you go to bed. You've got to let everybody off the hook, especially yourself. And she's really clear that in her world, she always wins. She always makes lots of money, and she does. So we have people who want to set this law in motion as quickly as they can, because it comes back to us. And I want you to know that as your minister, as your teacher, I am completely committed to your prosperity. And if you get mad at me, I don't care. If I say things to you like, what are you, nuts? You think you're going to take all of science of mind except the money part. We're one, there's only love, oh money, papi, hum. Oh, but honey, no. You can't do it. You can't divide it up. We are whole beings. And it is my intention that every person who calls this center home, whether you're a member or not, I don't care, you're in my consciousness, you're in my space. It is my intention that you have an amazing life where your dreams come true, where you have more money than you know what to do with, where you feel fantastic about life, where you look at something and you claim it and it shows up, where you have a life that other people look at you and go, wow, that person is amazing. And to do that, we have to let go of being small. We have to let go of holding on to our fear. We have to let go of blaming people for what we think they ever did to us. They didn't do anything to us. And we have to stand clear and tall in the light and the power of who we are. We are God in form as us. We create every molecule of our experience. We bring in every person, every event, and everything that we have. We do it. We do it by what we give. If we give out that which is in alignment with who we are, we get it back. Multiplied, shaken together, pressed down, and overflowing. And so it is.